And we're apparently live.
Whee!
Hello, Josh.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Do we already have 3 viewers?
Yeah.
Holy gods.
Yeah,
All right then.
And we've got subscribers.
yeah,
Got
Uh,
58 subscribers up in this joint.
yeah. Well, we'll start off with the. This is going to be the good, the bad, the ugly today. I can see that already.
Oh, it's gonna be let's go ahead straight for ugly because that's the way it's gonna wind up.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I guess I'll start with the ugly, and that's Chirac this weekend. 8 dead, 30 shot in Chicago.
Oh,
I started calling it
Slow-
Chirac years
slow
ago.
weekend. Slow weekend.
Slow weekend.
hey, Vince.
However, one of them was a good shoot.
Really?
Yeah, and that was the not yet, Vince. These give us a while.
I tell people I cuss like a New Haven fishwife. People don't understand that. They read my blog and they think I'm just pinky in the air.
Yeah, you
real
are
polite.
most of the time.
I thought you were Pinky from Pinky and the
I
Brain, but
swear
okay.
like a New Haven fishwife. People don't understand that. It just blows their tiny little minds.
I'm a sailor. Enough said. Anyway, the one good shoot in Chicago was a concealed carry permit holder. How the
Those
hell he got
exist in
that?
Chicago?
Yes. How
Oh,
the hell
wow.
he got that? Nobody knows. Who stopped a robbery? So one for the good guys.
Has anybody bonded them out of jail yet?
And I don't know. 7 for the bad guys. Generally
No.
funnier when it's a different fingernail. Yeah, Jesse, we're not going there.
What?
Jesse's being Jesse.
He's talking about the Hawaiian good luck sign.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really tricked somebody with that one time. I told them that that's exactly what it was. Kid on my wrestling team.
for God's sake.
And Kyle walked up to Coach Ceci and said, "Hey, Coach, have a great day." Which is when Coach Ceci said, "Do what?" "Oh, I'm just giving you the Hawaiian good luck sign. LaForce told me all about it."
And somebody got smoked.
Coach Cecilia smoked him the rest of the day with the words, "Kyle, are we in Hawaii?" "Well, no, but push."
Hey, Jonna.
Hey, darling, how are you?
The other good one for versions, hey, Sarah, the other good one for versions of good ones is the Democratic Congress critter who lost in Iowa and wants the House to overturn the election and give her the win.
I don't know you can legally do that.
Oh, she's going to try. That one has fallen off the media.
How bad did she lose?
6 votes after multiple recounts.
6% or 6 total votes?
6 total votes.
6 total votes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
The other,
Talk about a mail ladder.
the other absolutely stupid one is Harvard, but I'm beginning to repeat myself with Harvard, and that is the med school postgraduates talking about birthing people rather than women giving birth.
We don't have men and women anymore. We have birthing people and non-birthing people.
Yes. And their justification is that they must include people whose identities are non binary, transgender, because not all who give birth identify as women or girls.
These are my middle fingers.
Oh, look, the Hawaiian good luck sign.
Yeah.
I'm just,
And this,
I'm watching all the pushing, and I'm wondering if people realize what's going to happen when folks are pushed too far.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
A friend of ours named Tam Keel has a saying that I think is particularly trenchant, is nobody has a faster 0 to jackboot time than Europeans.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure we can't apply that to a whole bunch of folks of European descent.
Yeah. It's Sarah's comment birthing meat popsicle.
well, they're not always a popsicle once you warm them up.
Well,
Thank you, Sarah.
Sarah managed to combine the fifth element and wokeism in one single quote, which I actually kind of got to give her props for.
Yeah. Jeez. And speaking of Europe, Poland is conservative.
Oh, Poland's always been conservative.
It's always been conservative. And, you know, people were talking earlier online about Polish jokes. The thing you have to remember about Poland is they never give up.
Well, the thing about Poland is they've been a speed bump in armies going east and a speed bump in armies going west for ever since there's been armies in the area. And Polish,
Oh, I wouldn't say they were a speed bump. The Mongols just enjoyed their vacation.
the Poles are really, really, really good at war.
Yes.
And people don't realize that the father of the American Army cavalry was Polish.
Yep.
And Poles are good at war, period.
They're good enough to charge tanks with horses and win.
That actually didn't happen. Sorry.
There's always got to be the one person.
There's always Jim.
It's anecdotal, and there's actually no evidence of it. There is one battle.
There is no evidence to also disprove it.
Actually, there's
No, there's
no evidence to prove it. Anyways, there was one battle where there were Polish lancers involved at the same time that there were German armored cars
Okay.
during World War II, but they were not ordered to charge the armored cars. But they just happen to be the same value, but there's no evidence that.
Do you find joy in puncturing people's?
Of course he does.
I'm sorry.
No,
you're
That's
not.
all he
You're not sorry
does.
at all. You're not sorry at all.
I watch all this stuff and I read all this stuff and I'm just like, okay, well, I always thought that the Poles ordered the Lancers to.
Anywho, Poles
So-
are good at war.
They have just published a new law that will hold companies accountable for what now will be illegal censorship or suppression of legal content.
So if you post something legally on, say, Bookface, and Bookface yanks it down,
They
the
have
Poles will break a foot off in Bookface's butt.
Yep, it will all be done electronically, and they can pass. They can complain. They have 24 hours to complain. If there's no response in 48 hours, the government can step in with a special commission, and up to 7 days. And after 7 days, they can charge the companies up to $2.2 million
For
in
violation?
fines per violation.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Yeah, this is where.
The balance here is the interesting statement. A balance must be found between the exercise of freedom and the abuse thereof. Today in Europe, censorship solutions are sought rather than to protect freedom of speech. Often the victim of tendencies for ideological censorship are also representatives of various groups operating in Poland whose content is removed or blocked just because they express views and refer to values that are unacceptable from the point of view of the communities publishing.
The problem is that you put up something that Facebook doesn't like. So Facebook goes to their pet fact checker,
Yeah.
Snopes, PolitiFact, whoever. Like, hey, I want you to make an article disputing this so that we can slap that on what this guy is saying.
yeah, but this very, very goes around it.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because
It
Poland
says
is
if
setting
it's-
up their own fact checkers, what you're saying.
No,
No.
what they're saying is if you put up a post saying that's legal, that says, I don't know about COVID vaccinations, and Facebook yanks it, Facebook gets to pay $2.2 million in fines.
If they don't put the post back up.
Yeah, but Facebook says, oh yeah, but we've got this article.
Doesn't matter. Was it
Doesn't
up
matter.
legally?
Was the
It's an opinion,
So-
it's up legally, they take it down.
What Poland has done is said, Facebook, Google, whoever, you are not what is the difference between publisher and provider?
Yeah.
You are no longer a provider, you're a publisher.
Yep.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because that little bit of the internet
Yeah,
that needs to go the fuck away.
Yep.
No
Sorry for the
kidding.
language.
There we go. 10 minutes.
Hey, one was one of the usual three.
Yeah,
Better than the average.
if as long as your content is legal, you can't say we need to hang all darkies because that content isn't legal. If your content is legal and it's somewhat controversial, they still can't pull it down without facing fines.
Oh my God, no, it's just, because they slap these fact checker things and they pull these.
Yeah, that's
Well,
Facebook's going around it. They say nothing about fact checking.
Yeah.
Is it legal content?
yeah, and Facebook will say, well, you saying that masks don't work, that's inciting panic, so we pulled it down.
Yeah. Well, now 2.2 million in fines.
Yeah, so I hope, because the first thing that Facebook's gonna do is it's gonna go to court over that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're going to.
Who are they going to fight it in? A Polish court?
Yeah.
No, they're gonna fight it in the European Union court. That's what the European Union court's gonna say.
Because this is Poland. They don't have to go to the European Union court.
Poland not part of EU?
I'm not sure.
Here, I'll check.
They
And even
are,
if they were, it doesn't matter.
it's a violation of Polish law. Therefore,
Not
that becomes a
European Union.
Polish issue,
Yeah, but
not an EU issue.
Now it can be
the
appealed
European,
to the World
yeah,
Court.
the European Union got really kind of fishy about what's internal to that country and what isn't.
Oh, yes.
When they started saying you will accept refugees.
Yeah.
air
And
quotes,
what did Poland do about refugees?
Something about a fence that works.
And Poland is the fifth most populous country in the EU,
Yeah.
but given things of late, well,
well,
Polexit is, a possibility. I'm just saying.
Now, Cedar made it in, and Josh says, now I'm tempted to reactivate my account and start posting Kenosha hat trick memes just to get the.
You have to do it from Poland. You have to do it from a .pl address.
Yep.
That can be arranged.
and this is the point where we insert the ad for Surfshark. Is that right?
Yeah.
Surfshark, yes.
The other funny one, and this is funny, is apparently it's been cold enough in Florida that certain places in Florida have to post signs, beware falling iguanas.
Because they get cold and
They go into torpor and
Yeah, they go into torpor and
Apparently, iguana
Wow.
tastes good. If
Yeah.
somebody brings me a few, I'll cook them up.
And-
I have eaten iguana. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's like chicken.
and
like
they
dinosaur.
fall out of the tree. So apparently you literally have to beware of falling iguanas.
So in Florida, it's not drop bears, it's drop lizards.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it got cold enough down there that,
Lizards and dinosaurs are two different.
no, Jesse, it's not chicken of the trees.
Oh, that's good.
No,
Hey,
no,
No,
she's right.
Jim, you're just
Right.
saying that because we haven't made it up into jambalaya yet.
No, she's right. That is chicken of the tree.
I will go get some, and I will have you show me how we can do iguana jambalaya. Or would we prefer iguana etouffee?
I've eaten iguana more than once. It's not bad. And it does kind of taste like chicken.
Iguana is heretofore from now until the end of the universe, chicken of the trees.
That is a good one. I do have to admit, that is a good one. Oh, God.
Do I need to plug this in?
Yeah. And Obi went screaming by and unplugged the computer.
He's good at that.
Yeah. One of the more interesting things this morning with Obi was he and the squirrel,
He has
dinosaur,
a squirrel.
lizard, birds, chicken. The scientist has signed in.
Obi has a squirrel nemesis.
Yes, this is the squirrel is the Dr. Evil of Obi's Venture Brothers.
Well, Obi was trying to take a pee in peace this morning. And the squirrel went running across the top of the fence. And Obi tried to shut everything off and go after the squirrel
Squeeze it back in real quick. Cautious.
and got himself in jail over in the corner of the fence behind the other fence.
Cramped a kidney, did he?
The squirrels have restarted their traffic through the downspout of your
Yeah.
and
Really?
yes, and they tend to take that route in the middle of the night when Obi goes out to wake me up.
So the raccoon is now the pork of the trash pile. Josh, really?
Raccoon's just not that good.
No.
But it makes a great hat.
It makes a hat, but raccoon's just not that good.
I do need a new hat.
I can't imagine there being a lot of meat on a raccoon.
Oh, there's more meat than you'd suspect.
Yeah.
I just-
Much like a squirrel, once once you undress the
Unzip it.
unzip the raccoon, there's a lot of meat on there, but it's nasty, greasy meat.
Is that because they have a diet that's crap?
Well,
It strongly resembles, as far as fat content, bears.
Yeah.
And I don't like bear meat. Bear meat is greasy as hell.
go bother somebody else, dog.
He wants to go outside.
Come on, Ethan.
Yes, we have tried raccoon, Josh.
I've tried most everything. There are some things I refuse to eat. I will not eat dog, and I will shank somebody that serves me dog. No, if I know about it.
Well, you've eaten dog and cat if you've eaten in a Chinese
I
restaurant.
know, but I don't know about it. If
Yeah.
I know about it, I'm gonna shank some. I don't eat monkey.
Speaking of shanking people, Fauci has admitted he's been lying.
Oh yes. He admitted in the New York Slimes on
Yeah.
Times.
Bear is great for seasoning, cast iron, not so good for eating.
No, it's not good for eating raw.
Yeah, I wouldn't season with it either.
It's if you want to take a big old honking bite of the La Brea tar pits,
Yeah.
have a good whack at a bear. Other than that, no.
So anyway, Fauci has admitted he's been lying since day one.
Changing the numbers on herd immunity for the public based on a gut feeling that we can't handle the truth.
And he is talking about now herd immunity being 85 to 90% of the vaccine in the population.
Yeah, and that's the thing of it is herd immunity has, since I've been keeping track of scientific nomenclature, herd immunity has been a combination of immunized and people that are immune due to having the whatever disease.
Yeah.
If you got the antibodies, you herd immunity, whether you get them by way of a needle or by way of your snout. Now all of a sudden, they've changed it towards herd immunity is only provided by immunization,
Which is not a fact.
which is complete and total codswallop.
Yep.
Here's your
That it
$3
is.
word for the day.
Because I did want to say bullshit.
Well, we've already broken the seal today,
Exactly.
so.
Exactly.
But it's to the point of
And
Who-
the
who
thing,
do you
the thing of it
believe?
is, the New York Slimes reporter didn't stand up and slap him.
Yeah.
Which really needs to start happening.
Yeah, but that would require that the New York Times grow the moral courage to do that. And they sold theirs sometime around 1930
There was a
something when they sold out to the Russians about the Holodomor.
there was a time in this country where a bald-faced lie would wind up with pistols for 2 and coffee for 1.
Yep.
And I'm starting to think that needs to come back.
You're not wrong. But speaking of,
no, Sarah, he's not going to quit because he's now slimed his way into the Biden administration as the senior COVID expert, apparently.
And I don't know how he qualifies as a COVID expert. He hasn't practiced medicine in 40 years.
This is a guy that thinks we should distribute it according to the FKW method.
I don't know that that's him or it was the CDC. CDC hired 2 or 3 flat barking moonbats.
No, the guy I'm thinking of was just named by Biden.
Oh, that's Murthy.
Yeah,
He's the old new Surgeon General. He was Obama's Surgeon General because he was Indian.
The CDC hired some ethical experts to look at how they're going to distribute the COVID vaccine, and the experts came up with a stupid race-based.
Yeah.
And I don't like Governor Abbott. Abbott has made some really stupid, lack of reason decisions regarding COVID.
Yeah.
And he annoys me on a regular basis. But he announced that Texas would not be following CDC guidelines for distributing vaccines.
And neither will Florida. And of course, the left is melting down because they're actually going to follow the WHO guidelines, which is hospital care, elderly, and then essential workers, not by race, but by requirement.
Race should not be a part of anything, any requirement, period, for anything. Race, unless you're considering sickle cell anemia numbers, race should not be a factor in any decisions.
Nope. And speaking of race, you got to bring up the one about the girl down in Tennessee.
Oh, you want me to go on about that one?
Yeah.
No, do you remember the book? I think it was called The Last Centurion,
Yep.
John Ringo.
Yeah.
where the distribution of that plague vaccine was the same thing they're doing now.
Yep.
People keep saying 1984 isn't a guideline. Last Centurion wasn't a guideline, folks.
Yeah.
Well, before we break off our discussion of COVID, I want to talk about COVID culture for a second here, people, and how we respond to COVID.
Hang on. I got one. Josh just came up with a very good one. Abbott has realized he has a very good chance of losing to the next primary
Oh, yeah.
to a roadkill possum if it's a Republican.
I'll run against him.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? I have to run the campaign ad showing I'm not like every other idiot that's left California in the last 10 years. I can do
Well,
that.
that's a disqualifier right there when you said California. So go away.
I can't do any
Right,
worse than
because-
wheels.
They should have it. Well, Texas should have a law that if you move from New York, New Jersey, California, you cannot vote in any election for 5 years until you assimilate the Texan culture.
You are being
No.
generous with the 5 years.
That would be nice, except that it's unconstitutional.
I know, but still.
Yeah,
No.
it would be nice to see it though. Okay, anyway,
But-
back to this poor little girl.
This poor little girl. So about 4 years ago, this girl made a statement while driving. She'd just gotten her learner's permit and used the N-word when saying, "I can drive now," drops the N-word. Somebody recorded it. Fast forward 4 years. She's just put up on social media that she's gotten herself a scholarship to the University of Tennessee as a cheerleader. Should be a great day, right? Except somebody who was classmates with her and purely looking for vengeance of some kind decided that would be the great time to release this video from years prior and tag her name in it. And the responding social media backlash has been such that the University of Tennessee has now rescinded her scholarship offer. And she has been made to publicly abase herself and apologize.
It may not have been seeking revenge. So SJWs they're not out there seeking revenge.
Yes, they are.
They're out there.
They're out there seeking revenge.
They're out
They
there
might try and
killing-
say it otherwise.
They're out there killing the culture,
No,
but they think they're doing it for noble reasons.
at the end of the day.
Well, the
they
problem
want
with that,
revenge.
the problem with that is it was an 18-year-old black kid who was not on the original Snapchat, who got it from somebody else and held it for 3 years.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, it's called SJW's. Want
That's revenge.
You can try and say it's anything else, and that's a little bullshit. I'm going to tell you that
Because
right
he
now.
wanted to take her down.
revenge implies that he specifically had a beef with her.
Yes.
This is an SJW having
No.
a beef with everybody.
No.
Everybody who's not
No, and you're
black
wrong.
is racist. Everybody who's not,
No, and you're wrong.
it's
No. It's
unless you have proof that this guy has something against that girl.
yes. He
Yeah,
was a
he-
classmate of hers,
That's
he
not
won't-
that's not proof.
and he wanted revenge for whatever reason, and he
Okay,
chose to
Because
get it-
he was not part of their clique.
and he would chose
It's
to go out
revenge.
and get revenge.
So
And this is what he decided to do. And he screwed up her future. And shame on the University of Tennessee for choosing to engage in such nefarious bullshit as Maoist cancel culture.
Yeah, as Josh said, the guy had a beef against her personally.
Do we know this for certain?
okay.
And this right here, this portends dark times ahead for us as a country because this kind of behavior, it continues to pop up and keep happening. And it's no more right than if you reverse the ethnicity or genders of the people involved.
Yeah.
This is just like the some music star or regular celebrity made a post 10 years ago
Yeah.
Yes.
about something, and it came back and it kicked him out of the doing the
Yeah.
Emmys or the Grammys or whatever. Who cares?
Oh, the
It's been going on for a
Oscars.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
because she's the latest victim of it doesn't mean that it hasn't. This is a tactic that the
Yes,
the
but
left
they-
uses.
Yes, but they use it to settle personal vendettas.
My thing
Yeah,
is,
and he admitted he wanted to take her down and was waiting for the right reason.
Oh.
And that's apparently in several articles.
Okay.
This
But-
boy was looking for an excuse. Part of what SJWs do is that they are looking for personal motivation to go after people. I
My,
saw that a ton in high school. Where
My
a lot of
thing
the
is-
stuff started popping up for me.
is they keep pushing, or to use an old quote, they keep poking the bear.
Yeah.
They keep pushing, pushing, pushing. What happens when people have enough?
That is going to be ugly.
When are they gonna have had enough? Because
So it,
Honest to
it may
God.
take a while, but sooner or later people have enough.
you'd think it would have happened by now.
You think, but sooner or later people have enough. And then what happens?
Kevin Hart was who
Yeah.
lost the Oscars.
He's
Thanks,
one,
Sarah.
And there's been a few others where that kind of stuff has happened. And it's utterly
It's
absurd.
not just a few, it's a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
But
And it brings me back to, they don't have to have a personal vendetta.
oh, they don't.
They just do it because it gives them power.
They
Yeah.
don't have to have a personal vendetta.
Well, sad
Well,
puppies.
Now they get their oppression points, whatever you call them, and they get to scream, "Oh, I'm more oppressed than you are," because you used this word
Yeah.
10 years ago, or because they made a movie in the 30s where the culture was different, but now it's
Yeah.
no longer acceptable.
I hate to say it, but this is a direct consequence of making victims into heroes.
Yeah.
I've never understood the American propensity for lionizing and making a heroic somebody who was a victim of something.
No, it started off because we love the underdog.
But then at some point it switched to the SJWs promoting
The SJW,
victims.
the
and
SJW
they have
didn't
been-
promote it. They what's the word?
Capitalized on it.
No, they perverted it
Yeah, but
to
that's
the victims. No, we were never rooting for the victims. We were rooting for the underdog.
oh,
We
we
root for the Rockies.
since at least the 60s, we've been rooting. Hollywood's been rooting for the victims.
Yep.
It's like praying for the victims.
Yeah,
And we
this is,
put up statues of the victims.
this is them perverting that we'll root for the underdogs. It's a perversion of what.
I don't care how it happened, but the U.S. and as a child of Africa, I do not understand the U.S. propensity since at least the 60s,
It's not even the U.S. though.
of
It's
saints
Wilsonian.
of making saints out of victims.
It's not
You were a
even-
victim. This does not
It's not even the U.S.
beatify
though.
you.
That's SJW culture and Wilsonian progressivism,
Well,
finding a way to destroy and demonize what they can. They have to. They have no other
It
means.
used to be we lionized heroes.
Yeah.
Now it's, and you see it on Facebook or social media all the time. Somebody had something bad, and everybody tells them how heroic they are. And
Yeah.
you screwed up. You either got lucky, you got unlucky, you rolled snake eyes,
Yeah.
or you were stupid. One of the two.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That neither one of which makes you a hero.
yeah, Jonna had a good statement here. It's postmodernism. Every exchange is a power exchange between classes, which leads to the perpetual victimhood.
Now,
And
since we made victimhood to be one heroic and something to aspire to,
No,
because people want to aspire to heroism.
John, that's critical race theory.
No,
People-
it's both. CRT is an outgrowth of postmodernism.
When being a victim netted you hero points. Now all of a sudden everybody wants to be a victim.
And they want to let it define who they are as a person.
and three of us sitting here are the ultimate evil because we're white.
No, we're not victims. I refuse. If I'm ever a victim, I'm not telling anybody about it.
Oh, hell no.
Speak for yourself, white man.
But this, when being a victim became the most noble thing you could do,
Yeah.
everybody's now a victim, and they've got to find reasons to be victims.
I'm
Yeah.
not a victim.
Well,
I'm
when
not
I
a
say
victim.
when I say everybody, I'm meaning, but that's when this is the highest, most noble thing you aspire to is being a victim of something. Everybody wants to be noble, and so
Yeah,
they're
because
all.
I
gonna be
don't give
victims.
I don't give a rat's
There's
ass.
no effort
You-
involved in being a victim.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It
In
is
fact,
so easy.
In fact, if you expend any effort, you're not going to be a victim anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
and so rather than espousing the heroes, the guy that threw himself on a grenade to save his platoon, or the guy that broke the sound barrier, or the guy that developed a new vaccine, that involved effort. Oh wait,
As
they're
soon,
not heroes anymore.
as soon as
This
they,
guy who wasn't able to go to this school that he wanted to because some white person bought his spot. He's a victim. Oh, he's the hero now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No
Well,
effort.
Yeah,
He could have tried a little harder. Could have applied to a different school.
he could have readjusted, reacquired, and drove on to a new target, but no. Hey, victim! And everybody went, oh my God. Oh,
Yeah.
victim.
Cedar brings up a good point. There is now an official disorder classification for interpersonal victimhood.
What?
Think about what George Floyd's family got for him being the victim.
Exactly.
They got $21 million donated to them.
And
Jesus.
he's got
Yes.
roads named after him.
Which
There's-
one of you wanted to get beaten to death by a cop? I could do some
It'd
money.
have to be Jonathan because it wouldn't count for me or Jim.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't think I'm in his will.
But and that's George Floyd gets beaten.
Oh,
to
you're
death.
in the will. It's just the part under where
I
it gets labeled under. Make sure this man dies.
George Floyd
I
gets
got 20
beaten to
bucks
death.
if you leave me a little bit of money.
George,
Yeah.
George Floyd gets beaten to death due to the fact that he was stupid.
Well, the question is, did he even get beaten to death, or did he in fact
It doesn't
die from a drug overdose
He got
in the
beaten- he
process
got
of being
beaten and died because he was stupid.
Yeah.
That that should be held up in front of everybody as a well, kids, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
You won't die.
Well, my old man had one today. He texted me about it because after most of 20 years on graveyards or more, he finally switched to day shift, so he gets all the jokes about being a vampire.
Yeah.
But LA, since all the COVID lockdown started, has had a serious drop in population on the road each day, which
Yeah.
the old man thought was great. But then they had a twofold problem emerge. One, they have people driving faster than ever because there's nobody on the 405, so they can just drop the hammer and see how fast that
So
car
they can
really
get up to
goes.
25 miles an hour now?
No, we have people doing triple digits down the LA freeway for fun.
Damn.
Yes. And there's an
I find that
increase.
hard to believe if everybody's driving an electric car.
They're not. And you also have people who are engaging in alcoholism much more readily these days. Today, he just had a semi run into the rear end of a car, and the semi truck driver was twice the legal limit intoxicated, so drunk he was pissing and shitting himself and falling over.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one. They have a lot more people getting busted DUI because they are day drinking out the ass.
Well,
So
of course they
remember-
are.
That's what people are doing.
Remember,
This
liquor
this
stores are
is this
essential
is why
businesses.
liquor stores were considered essential.
Yes, liquor
Because-
stores are essential businesses. Churches are not.
Self-medicating for stress is a story as old as humanity.
Yeah.
You know, when you put it like that, Jim, I sit here and think to myself, how much trouble will I get in with the leadership of my church if I get a license and start selling booze in the parking lot of my local ward building? We'd be labeled as essential.
Yeah.
Hey, no, seriously, who keep the church open?
Yeah.
If you don't keep the church open, I'll have a stand out there selling little half shots of moonshine. We can roll with it.
Wait. Are you,
No.
Are you doing church on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
You need
That is
the,
for
need the
Moses.
moonshine with the cherries in it.
Oh, God.
Hey, I'll do it. I'll do it.
I can get into a church that serves mimosas.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesse says, hell, even when they aren't drunk, folks who can barely drive anyway, they're also getting further out of practice.
Yes, they are.
Ugh.
I see that daily at work.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, thinning the gene pool. I'm not seeing an issue with it.
Some of these people out there driving these days, you'd think that they got their freaking license from a Cracker Jack box
Yeah.
and they learned how to drive. Never.
Oh no, you can tell. Texas license plates, you can tell who passed their driver's test and who didn't, because if you've got a little star in the center, that means you passed your driver's license test. But if it's a little icon of the state of Texas, it means that person failed their driver's test.
What?
Yes.
No. Another easy way to
He's gonna run out. He's gonna look at his plate. And he's like, wait, I passed my driver's test.
I also add in, there's some people these days, they don't know how to park their damn trucks. I mean, sorry, Texas. Some of y'all need to learn how to park a truck. It looks like you tried to do that while juggling a pair of rabid weasels in your freaking pants.
It's Texas. Trucks rule. They park however they want to.
They should
You
be
have
parking
you have
in
not seen screwed up parking until you go to Northern Virginia to spaces that are angled at 45 degrees and people are supposed to back into them.
I never understood that rule.
It's a one-way street
Yeah, but
They're angled the wrong way.
and they're angled the wrong way.
Yeah.
So that when you pull out, you can see what's coming and you're not backing into traffic. But, and I used to have to walk across that street twice a day.
But you're not, it makes sense. Okay, you're angled, and you can see the, so you can, but if to do it right, you have to be parked on the other side, backed in, pointing outwards, and then, but then you're crossing the lane of traffic.
No, it's a one-way street.
Okay, that makes sense. But still,
But the people, I mean, in the mornings, there would be like 4 cars that are parked correctly, and then one guy that's sitting dead straight. And then there'd be 2 or 3 more, and then it'd be a car that's nose in, facing the opposite direction. It's like, lines.
There was a time at somebody else's expense, I went to a school on, well, doing stuff.
Frogger.
Yes, I do remember that game. It's a lot of fun. I
Oh,
introduced my son to it.
I went to a school on doing stuff. And part of what we were trained in school was always back into a parking place, because if we had to leave somewhere at a hurry, it was easier to make a clean getaway if you didn't have to back and fill.
Yeah.
And the joke was that you could spot the graduates of his class.
no, anybody who's worked the oil field, you back in, because when the company man tells you to get the fuck off of his land, get the fuck off of his
Well,
land.
The joke was, in this metropolitan area, you could spot recent graduates because they were the crappiest people back in. Now, you would look one row of parking further from the entrance to the building, so that you get your keys out of you had time to get the keys out of your pocket before you got to the door.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, look, the graduates of whatever. There's 5 of them in the parking lot. Oh, damn it.
Vince,
Well, talking about parking in Texas, though, the ultimate parking in Texas is to find a tree in the parking lot somewhere.
And
Yep.
it doesn't matter how far it is from where you're actually going. You find that tree, you park there, and you stay there for weeks. You can leave your car there, and you'll take a taxi home.
Uber.
Yeah, because shade beats.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yes. Now, Vince, Utah does not have the worst drivers, but if Utah started instituting a punishment to have to use hand carts everywhere, today, Mrs. Jones, you have been found guilty of reckless driving and vehicular endangerment. You've been sentenced to 60 days with a hand cart. That would do so much good for bad driving and bad manners on the road in Utah.
Hand cart?
Yes, get out there, old pioneer style hand cart. You've got to walk everywhere, push it to pull it along. Yeah, boy. The majority of the Mormon settlers who went from Illinois to Utah did so with hand carts.
The ones that survived.
So basically, it's Johnny Outdoors.
Are you
Yeah.
literally espousing the tactical wheelbarrow?
Yes.
Nope,
It was not a wheelbarrow because it had 2 wheels, not 1.
no, because the tactical wheelbarrow actually has a big wheel to get through the ruts.
Yes.
Grocery store carts don't.
Cedar says there is now an ad for alcohol delivery service. Booze to your choice delivered under 60 minutes.
I see no problem with
God
this.
bless the future.
And what state is this?
Well, Specs,
Ohio.
Specs has delivery now.
Yeah.
You can call Specs and have bourbon at your door within 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's just,
And
is there a tabak rule about that, something?
Tabac actually rescinded it for the purposes of this
It's been,
event.
yeah,
Oh,
it's temporarily suspended during the COVID emergency.
The governor
Which means
announced it.
forever.
The governor announced it 6 months ago, so that you could, let's say you order a steak fajitas for dinner, you can then have them deliver a pitcher of margaritas with you. El Tapatio's in town started doing that so that you could roll up, pick up your dinner. And I watched a guy. He had 6 large plastic pitchers full of margaritas carried to his Escalade.
And one order of
Oh, no, wait a second here. Wait a second. Open container in Texas has always been legal. God bless. As long as it's not in the driver's seat.
Okay.
It could be in the front passenger seat, but it's not in the driver's seat.
Well, that's.
But yeah,
Florida used to have, back in the 70s, Florida had drive-through
Well, Texas still does.
The Eskimo hut down at Southwest Parkway in Camp.
Longview has it. I've seen it. I drove past it as a missionary.
On the
There were
north,
girls in bikinis delivering booze
Yes.
to the vehicle.
on the north side of one of the airports in Dallas. Can't think of the name right now, but there's a drive-through liquor store, and every Friday and Saturday they always had girls in bikinis handing out margaritas.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, Eskimo hut at Southwest Parkway, not only is it covered for rainproof, it's windproof.
Yeah.
You can pull in, they will bring a 12-pack out to your car.
There's a drive-through in our local right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
there is, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But what I'm talking about in Florida is you can get a mixed drink,
Oh yeah. No.
and drive out and drive home drinking your mixed drink.
Well, they can't put the straw in it.
Actually, they did. It came with a top on it and a straw, and they left out the frou-frou stuff.
see, now I thought of something similar for
Dinosaurs.
California because California did that whole stupid mess with requiring background checks for ammunition sales. You just set up something right across the state line in Prim, and you have a bunch of pretty girls running ammo from the stocks inside the building, pushing it out in the cart underneath cover. Here's your ammunition, sir. And you give them an on-ramp that they can drive up and around and back into California with.
The Lucky Gunner shoot
Yeah.
had ammo waitresses.
Yes.
Yes.
This should be a thing. Pretty women and ammunition. God bless America.
We shot over
God
there.
bless
It's like the
capitalism.
beer cart on golf courses.
Yeah.
I have no problem with this.
I don't know what sells ammunition faster. The fact that it's illegal just over the border in California, or the fact that you've got pretty girls passing it out.
Nope.
And Julian says somewhere around Tyler there was a drive-through porn store. Okay, that's
The thing that sells ammunition fastest is an Obama/Biden presidency.
yeah.
There was
Now
that too.
Biden/Harris.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, did you hear her latest
Stupidity?
reality check on her history?
Oh, this should
The
be
fact that
good.
she's not black.
Oh no, how she's been celebrating Kwanzaa since she was a little girl.
Except
Oh,
Kwanzaa
whatever.
hasn't been around that long.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah.
What did they invent Kwanzaa?
66.
Yeah.
What's
She was born in 64.
She could very well have been.
Kwanzaa didn't even become a thing until the late 70s, early 80s.
The only blacks in her family are the ones they allowed in off the porch because her family's a bunch of slave-owning a-holes.
Well, I think
No,
her
no,
dad's from
she's-
Jamaica, isn't
She's
Yes.
Jamaican and
That's what
Indian.
Jamaican
what
and Indian.
he? Dot
Yeah.
Indian.
Dot Indian.
Yeah.
Dot, yeah.
She actually,
Dot,
her
not
family
feather.
was slave owners.
There's no Africa in there anywhere, so well,
Jamaica's Afro-Caribbean, as far as the
Yeah,
English are
yeah.
concerned.
Yeah.
okay.
Cedar says I use a drive-through liquor store. Cedar.
I'm not seeing the issue here.
Yeah, as long as she's not getting one to go.
It's Cedar.
Yeah, well, that's true.
She's responsible.
I mean,
You-
it's not like we have more than like 5 blocks from our liquor store to here. What can happen in 5
Cedar's
blocks?
Cedar's the poster child for responsibility.
Yeah, unlike us.
What is responsibility?
It's,
Uh,
it's 2 words. It's
it's-
respond and ability
it's
matched together.
a
Yeah.
legal thing saying, "Oh, you done screwed up."
yeah,
It's just being able to vocally say yes when the officer says, "Have you had anything to drink?"
yeah. Louise says, "What's the over/under for Biden leaving in 2 years?" Louise, I don't think he's going to last a year.
I ain't offering odds on that one or holding stakes in it.
I'm counting months. I really am.
Yeah.
They've already set it up for him to get drummed out of office for being corrupt. So
Yeah, I've got the 6 months in the pool.
Yeah.
My thing is, I think it all depends on Dr. and Mrs. Biden, because I really think Dr. and Mrs. Biden, who got her PhD because she was tired of being Mrs. Biden, I think she likes being First Lady of the U.S.
Wilson the second.
So I'm thinking that she's not going to want to turn loose of First Lady of the U.S.
No,
And apparently she's got a tight grip on his attention. And I'm thinking it's really up to her whether he gets out or not.
yeah, Vince may have a point. They want to get him to the 2-year point, so they have 10 years of.
Why does
Camel
everybody
toe.
say that?
Because if they don't cross that threshold, Kamala Harris will have legally be considered or be serving one full term as president. they have to try and maximize the amount of
Well,
time that she
It
gets
doesn't,
in
it
office.
doesn't say anything about terms. Or
Yes,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, it does.
It says terms, it doesn't say elections, it says terms. The, whatever, 25th, what? All I know is 1, 2, and 21.
Yeah.
Those are the important ones. Freedom of speech, right to bear arms, repeal of prohibition.
Yeah.
But you guys are all assuming that they're gonna follow the rules from now on, and that's not
Yeah.
gonna happen anymore.
Yeah.
We saw our last fair election years ago. It's now just gonna be a bunch of corrupt guys reelecting each other, and the party won't matter.
I'm trying not to be that morose about
Jesse
it.
said when he was running a pizza place, the owner caught an interesting loophole in the Oklahoma beer laws in that they could deliver it as long as they didn't open it. That was when it was what made it serving. And apparently they were very popular with both truckers and business travelers.
Oklahoma had this weird refrigeration law about beer too. Liquor stores couldn't sell refrigerated beer for some reason, but grocery stores and restaurants could.
Part of that's blue laws.
blue laws.
Yeah, it was weird kind of deal where if I wanted a cold beer, I had to plan ahead, and Lord knows, planning ahead, that's a lot of effort right there.
Yeah, Jesse said he's glad they tossed that crap. Yeah,
Can I get victim points for drinking warm beer?
I remember.
No.
No, you were in England.
Otherwise, England would have all the victim points.
Yeah, I can remember growing up in Texarkana. Bowie County was dry. Miller County was wet. So there were a couple of places where you could drive up, and the girls would come out with like an A&W tray full of beers and set it on your window. You'd sit there in the car and drink beers and listen to music or whatever. And apparently you could get 3 trays worth of beer in an evening.
In the
Three trays. How many
in the
beers on a
middle
tray?
to late 90s, Texas started doing away with dry counties.
Yeah.
Up until the 90s, there were a lot of dry counties in Texas.
There was still a dry county in Dallas because when I was working out of Redbird, there were no.
I
You had
actually
to drive 10 minutes on the interstate
Yeah.
to the next county, and
I
there
have
was,
actually written probable cause affidavits for bootlegging,
Yeah.
which absolutely blows cadets' minds these days. But anyway, well, and at the time, you could tell where the county line was.
Yeah.
Because there'd be a road, and on one side would be a line of liquor stores, and the other side there wouldn't. That would be the county line.
I gotta imagine that.
Well, it was the same thing in Texarkana because the state line runs right through the middle of town. So what would happen is on Friday, Saturday night, all the Texas cops that were behind in their quota would sit at the state line and watch the guys come out of the liquor store, let them get in Texas, and then pull their asses over
For bootlegging.
for bootlegging.
What
Can
defines
you write-
bootlegging? Is it the volume or just bringing
Volume,
anything?
volume,
Volume.
transporter volume.
And a case was considered a volume.
Can you legally
Wow.
write a probable cause for bootlegging if you're not carrying a Thompson submachine gun?
Ish.
It's kind of pushing it. I think you need to have the.
Well, I think that made felony bootlegging. If it was in the trunk and you had a Thompson, it's felony bootlegging.
Yeah.
If it was just a case or 2 bottles.
Yeah, but
it
when
was
you pull them
misdemeanor.
over, you better have that 1928 Thompson with the drum magazine. Otherwise, it looks just wrong.
Style points matter, people.
And
Back-
plus,
back-
plus
back
once he
then-
got into court, he stood up and said, "Your Honor, he didn't have a Thompson." Judge is going to throw it out.
Well, also back then, you didn't have flashing red lights on the cars. The spotlight on the driver's side window had a red lens in it.
Yeah.
And you would shine the red light into the car. When the inside of the car lit up red, that was the signal to pull over.
Yeah.
The first car I drove at Bugskulfer County had that. Had bubblegum lights on the top and the red searchlight. And I asked, why the hell is this searchlight red? It's not doing me any good. And they explained, it's like,
Makes sense.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Except for the guy who's red-green colorblind.
No, the inside lights up. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, that's always the fun is the changing colors depending on what state you're in or what
No
country
kidding,
you're in.
No kidding.
Those lights keep getting smaller and smaller.
But brighter.
Yeah.
They had the big circular ones. Then they had the
Well,
Mhm.
you had the big rotating incandescents. And
yeah.
those
Then they
weren't-
had the licorice drops.
the big
The barber
incandescents
poles.
weren't good in Texas because whenever you hit a dirt county road, you would always shake the chains loose and you'd wind up with a incandescent light pointing off in one direction. It's no good to anybody.
Then they went to the solid bar.
And then went to solid bar with the strobes, and that sucked
Right,
rocks.
and then the
Because
solid bar got
whenever the strobe fired,
Yeah.
it would
Tick,
shut
tick,
off.
tick, tick,
It would
tick,
shut
tick.
off your radio
and now they're
because you get this burst of
Static, yeah.
pew, pew, every
And it
time.
was not doing any good for the alternator either.
No, it wasn't.
and then they're
Then they came up with the LED light bars.
right, and they got really thin, and now they're hiding them in the rearview mirror and the grill.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Eyebrow lights.
the LED lights were a marvel because they were brighter than the strobes and didn't wash out. I don't know how many times it's like, I'm in pew, every time the strobes or edge light bar went off, you hear pew over the radio. And I would be saying something like, he's shooting at me. And they'd hear at me. And that's all I'd hear.
At me, bro. Okay.
Well, the other good one is with the traffic backers. We did a night shoot a number of years ago down in North Carolina at the farm. Little competition we'd have down there occasionally. And one of the sequences was real easy during the day because you got out, had to pop two guys close, go around to the trunk, take out your patrol rifle, and take two guys at 100 yards. Real easy during the day. Try that at night with the traffic backers going blink,
Oh, yeah.
blink, blink.
The hardest qualification I ever did was a night shoot, and they pulled two squad cars, one on either side of the firing line, and we had those vision.
Yeah.
Why do they?
And the visions would rotate, and they'd have one rotating at 12, another one rotating at 20,
Yeah.
The different, yeah.
and everybody's target had a horizontal line
Yeah.
from where the red and blue
Yeah.
lights were going across the target, and this horizontal line where that's the only bit of target you could see, so they're shooting inside the light spot, and it was horizontally spread from armpit to armpit.
What I never understood is why they turn their lights up so bright on traffic stops at night. Because oncoming
Because
traffic,
they don't understand every light bar I've ever worked with that wasn't incandescent had a daytime and a nighttime setting.
Right.
Daytime was bright, nighttime was low. And every bloody cop I knew put it on day and left it.
and then I'm driving up and I'm now night blind.
Yes, no
Yeah.
kidding.
And they wonder why they get hit.
Well, and also at night, that's an attractant because your eyes are looking at it and you tend to follow your eyes.
Yeah, you tend to drive towards what you're looking at.
Yeah.
The sheriff used to get hacked off at me because I would turn on the takedown lights, which are the big white lights on the front that light up the back of the car,
Mhm.
and two front strobes. And the back I would turn off, and I would have the warning flashers. And he said, why are you doing that? It's like I've been ass-ended, or as we used to call it, Rock Hudson.
Yeah.
More than once by drunks that
I know what that reference is.
lock in on the flashing red and blues,
Yeah.
and I'm jumping out. I actually lost 3 cars due to Rock Hudson accidents while I was dealing with another drunk.
My introduction to Rock Hudson was seeing him on The Undefeated with John Wayne.
We got,
Great movie.
we had an accident when I was working volunteer fire rescue down in Florida on the interstate. Thank God it was not our unit, where a Jacksonville fire truck was assisting a medic unit at a scene and had the backers on. And a 18-wheeler hit the back of the fire truck and pushed it into the back of the ambulance as they were putting the injured guy in the ambulance. So the medic lost both legs at just below the knee.
Ouch.
And trying to get everything pulled apart so that they could get him out. And we ended up getting called in to assist on the scene. And about 3 hours later, we finally found one of his legs. I don't know what happened to the other one.
Well, my first ever winter in the Panhandle. I was Bucksville County's on the eastern side. Plateau breaks.
Yeah.
It's where the Panhandle abruptly drops off to the rest of Texas.
Yeah.
So it's a whole bunch of canyons, and it had a bad winter that year. And I would have been a cop about 4 weeks, so
Yeah.
maybe 6 weeks. And I was up on 287, and a day 200 jackknifed on 287, and it was a skating rink.
Yeah.
There were 3 to 6 inches of ice because it rained and then froze.
Yeah.
And I got flares out, and I am quarter of a mile up, and it's a blizzard, so there's driving snow. And I looked up as a Maserati it was a bright red Maserati, and at the time I could have read you the VIN number. Bright red Maserati came screaming
Little close to you.
and sees me, locks up on that ice.
Oh, lovely.
And everything went slow motion. He's going sideways right for me. And Trooper said I Supermaned off the canyon wall and fell 200 feet. Ouch! And he said the Maserati straightened out, went around the jackknife 18-wheeler and disappeared.
Yeah.
And I asked him why you didn't chase him. He said, "Man, that lucky, I ain't chasing him."
Yeah. Louise says, add road flares and a smoke machine. I couldn't see my hand, much less the sights.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. And the bad part about that shoot was terrible time he shot the mirror off the side of the car.
Oh,
He had all the money in the world. He always had the latest tactical gear, the latest tactical boots, the latest tactical clothes, the latest tactical ammo,
Tactical Kenny.
and he never practiced.
the Panhandle Regional Planning Commission, I don't know if it's still in existence or not, up in the Panhandle, was all 26 counties got together and started pooling money to make things better for the entire Panhandle. And part of what they were in charge of was the academy and sheriff's offices and PD in the Panhandle.
Yep, they're still in existence.
Well, they had this really great instructor, and he would go around teaching handgun to everybody, handgun and rifle. And at one time, he had his brand new Lincoln pickup truck at the range, and he was teaching shooting around vehicles, and parked his brand new pearl white Lincoln pickup truck on the range so we could shoot around it. And
Oh, he was a trusting soul.
Good God.
not after that, he wasn't. The police chief in Memphis, Texas, drilled his hood 4 times.
Oh,
Forgot,
no, Bob, he was not a fobbit. He had never been in the military and was proud of that fact.
forgot about sight offset on an
Yeah.
AR.
AR-15.
I can't
Yeah.
tell you how many truck hoods I've seen that have
Yep,
cut through them because
4.
Yeah.
And let's not
Brand new
forget.
pearl white Lincoln.
Let's not forget. How pretentious do you have to be to buy a Lincoln pickup truck?
Oh, it was
Isn't that-
a gift from his wife, who owned one of the biggest ranches. And
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
an
yeah.
F-150 with different badge work. There's nothing special about it. It's a POS by a different name.
no, it's all the bells and whistles.
don't tell anybody in the Panhandle that, because I can't tell you the number of ranch wives and farm wives that either have Cadillac Escalades or Lincoln pickup trucks.
Or
Because
avalanches.
I saw.
because those ranch ladies are not going to stop hauling hay
Yeah.
or calves or the attack pack supply run into Amarillo where they're getting food for a ranch for 30 days. And when they finally made it and the husband wants to buy his wife a nice vehicle, it's going to be an Escalade or a Ford or a Lincoln pickup truck.
My aunt,
Speaking of SUVs,
my uncle went to buy my aunt a Cadillac. This was back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And she looked at him square in the face, according to reports, and said, I don't want a fucking Cadillac. I want a goddamn Suburban. And she got a Suburban with a 454 in it.
He said, "Yes, dear."
I'm surprised she didn't ask for an International Harvester. They're the precursors to the Suburban.
Well, the 454 that she got in it, she used.
Yeah,
And my uncle got more than one phone call from various
Oh, yeah.
Texas state law enforcement people going, tell your wife to slow down, Dan. I'm tired of chasing her.
on the subject of training, I just want to say that last year, as a New Year's resolution, I said I'm going to do at least one training class a month for the year of 2020. And then we had COVID hit. I'm not saying that there's a connection, but I am not making the same
Oh,
New Year's resolution.
speaking of, I got asked a question on Facebook. What gun training courses I considered to be essential?
Yeah.
Folks, if you've got to take gun training, Gun Sight 250 and Mag 40.
Yep.
I think Gun Sight 250 and Mag 40 should be in everybody's. If you're carrying a gun, carrying a pistol, you need Gun Sight 250 and Mag 40.
Yep.
Precursor to 250 though.
Mass Ayub does a fantastic job with Mag 20, 40, and 80. 40
Is the shooting
is the shooting portion. Mag 20 is the legal only.
is classroom only.
Yeah.
Mag 40 and Gun Sight 250's introduction to pistol work.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought there was a 100 and I said you had to take first.
No, that's
There are, but 250 is considered the introduction to gun sight.
Oh, and what's the other one up north?
Thunder Ranch.
Thunder Ranch had a 100.
Vickers? Is
So-
that that's Vickers?
No,
that's,
Thunder Ranch is
Clint
Clint
Smith.
Smith.
Clint Smith.
Okay, who's Vickers then?
Larry Vickers?
Yeah,
Vickers Tactical.
Vickers Tac.
okay.
All
Uh,
right,
not a
folks,
big
we've
fan of Vickers Tac.
we've wasted
Still want-
another hour of your time.
Oh my
So
gods, we have.
yeah.
thanks very much for listening in. Appreciate all the comments. We had our first bullshit out of the comments today, and it was Josh. So I'm glad everybody survived Christmas. Now we just got to survive paying the bills for Christmas.
I think Thursday will be our last cast for 2020. If y'all have small children or maiden aunts, you might want to put on the earphones because I'm coming off the leash on the Thursday podcast. All right, guys? So that's a warning.
We're not gonna have a late one for New Year's Eve with drinking involved.
No,
We've done this before.
no.
I'm going to vent my spleen about 2020 and COVID culture and the friggin' government response.
Forewarned is forearmed, folks.
So if you've got maiden aunts or children with delicate ears, you might want to put on the earphones.
All right, folks. Be safe. Have a good week. Just remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
Bye.